Hi everyone. I welcome you all to another episode of Expert Roundup. And today we have our very special guest, Mina Elias, with us. And like probably most of you know him for a reason. Like he is master when it's come to Amazon PPC. He has been selling supplements on Amazon for the past couple of years, and he has been like a seven-figure Amazon seller. Apart from this, he runs a PPC course as well, which is by the name PPC University. People know him for two reasons. He's too good at PPC. Another thing, like he loves supplement. So let's welcome Mina here. Hi, Mina. How are you?
Hey, what's up, guys?
So, Mina, just give you a quick introduction to our audience. Like people, like I was getting a constant message from most of the sellers and like our students that they want to hear Mina Elias, like when it's come to PPC, and they are keen to know how you manage Amazon PPC when it's come to supplement and why you love supplement a lot, and while most of the sellers run away from this.
Okay, it's okay. I'll give you a little bit background about myself. So, I was born in Egypt, and I grew up in Abu Dhabi, Dubai area, in the United Arab Emirates. So, grew up there, and then graduated high school and went to college in America. So, in 2011, I went to college to study chemical engineering and chemistry. Graduated the top of my class, and then started working in the field. So, right around 2018. I realized being in 9 to 5, I was doing a really good job, and every single boss that I worked for, they liked me, but I always feel like no one ever wanted to give me more money. No one ever, everyone was very strict. No one was lenient. Like I would say, okay, can I come in like 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late? Oh, we're gonna take that off your personal time. I felt like a slave. And my last job, I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning, literally 4:30. Going to the gym at 5, working out from 5 to 6:15, 6:15 to 7, driving to work, working from 7 to 4, and then 4 to 4:45, driving home. 5 o'clock, I was training kids self defense from 5 to 6. 6:30 to 9:30, I was training MMA. So it was like this. You can see there's not a single minute that was free, and I didn't feel like I was living a life. I felt like my life was just being stolen from me. So when I was on vacation, actually after working for that last company for a year and a half, I went from zero to managing $12 million in projects. Got my master's in industrial engineering. And then I went to them, I said, hey, like I want to raise. And they gave me for the entire year a $2,000 raise. For after like a year and a half, they said your yearly is going to go up from 65 to 67. I said, dude, what is this? This is like it's basically like inflation. This is not a raise, and I'm managing $12 million worth of projects. I'm bringing you money. I'm being efficient. I was the fastest guy to get the money. So when a project was going on every month, you can bill. Usually people take 2 or 3 weeks to get the bill back. I was taking less than 2 days, 3 days to get the bill back because I had built so much good relationships with everyone. So then I was on vacation, and I'm like, man, I'm sick and tired of this. But I was looking for protein on my phone, and my dad, he came up with this idea. I said, Mina, what are you looking for? I said, I'm looking for the specific protein that has this specific thing. He said, wow, you know so much about supplements. Why don't you start making your own supplements? I bet you can make supplements better than everyone else. And I said, I already do make my own supplements at home. So I was buying, like, for example, I would buy creatine, arginine, glutamine, citrulline, malate, things like that, and combine them. And then I would get the Mio, the water flavor, like Tang, Tang. I would get that.
I know. Yeah.
Mix it so I can drink it and it tastes good. So I was making my stuff at home. He said, why don't you start your own thing? I said, I probably could do it. Let me look into it. So I went in, looked at the prices of materials. I didn't know anything about selling online, didn't know anything about selling on Amazon, didn't know anything about business. So I looked at the price of materials, looked at the, all of this stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can make it for $5, and it looks like everyone is selling it for 25 or 30. So why don't I get into this? And so I said, okay, let me look into it further. I called my friend. I said, hey, don't you have a business? Like, how hard is it to start a business? I thought you needed like a lot of money. He said, oh, you just go to legalzoom.com and you create an LLC. Now I created an LLC for $150. So I was like, oh, that's very cheap. So I said, okay, next step, how do I design? How do I get a label? So I knew one of my friends went to my same university, but she studied graphic design. So I hit her up. I said, here's like examples of labels that I like. Can you make me a label for my product? She said, okay, yeah, sure thing. It's going to cost you $200 or $250. So I sent her the money. She made me a sticker, Hydrolite. That was the first product. Yeah. So I got golden bags and I got the stickers, put it on, and I got the mix at home, mixed it, put it in the bags. And so I went to my friends at the gym and I said, guys, I want you to try this. A company sent it to me. They said, like, this is, exclusive stuff. Don't tell anyone, but like, you guys are my boys. So I gave it to them and they're like, wow, man, like this stuff is really working. And I said, oh, okay, like it's my company. And they didn't believe me. They said, dude, what are you talking about? So then I posted on Facebook. I said, I'm the official owner of MMA Nutrition Supplement Company, blah, blah, blah. And someone messaged me. He said, hey, man, like I have an event coming in 3 weeks. Do you want to come? I'll give you a table for free, a booth for free. I said, okay, yeah, sure. What do I need to do? He said, just bring product and bring a banner, a big banner. So I went to Vistaprint, got a banner, again, went home, ordered ingredients, mixed up the products at home, filled it up, put the stickers, sealed it with an iron, like an iron for the clothes. And I went to the event. And at the event, I went with 40 products and I sold 25 of them. And people were like, where can I buy this? Where can I buy this? I don't have money now. Can I buy it later? Things like that. And I said, you know what? It's going to be on Amazon very soon. So then I went home and I'm like, oh my God, man, I told everyone.
So did you think before saying this? You are
no, I didn't think.
Amazon? So you just randomly said that.
I was embarrassed. I was very embarrassed. Like, imagine you're telling me like, oh, Mina, look, I have this amazing product. I said, oh, where can I buy it? And what are you going to tell me? My house, my car? No, I needed to come up with something. So you couldn't buy it on my website because I didn't know what e-commerce was. So I had just like a page. Like I had a page. It showed Hydrolite. There was no buttons, nothing. It was just a page. And there was a page. There was about us. There was science, but there was no buttons to buy anything. I didn't have. I was gonna say maybe I should tell them go to the gym to buy it from the gym because I put them up at the gym. But I'm like, we're 2 hours away from the gym. No one's gonna drive 2 hours away to get a $20 product. So I said, okay, it's gonna be on Amazon soon. I was just embarrassed, and then I went home. I said, okay, now I have to figure out how to get it on Amazon. So I worked really, really hard, like day and night, 24/7. Amazon. Eventually, I called the Seller Central. I said, I want to sell my supplements on Amazon. Can you help me? They said, oh, sure. It's easy. No problem. Here's here's the instructions to sign for Seller Central. Once you're done, here's how you get ungated for supplements. And then I started reading in the forums because people said, stay away from supplements. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with supplements? And then they said, you have to pay $3,000 if you want to sell supplements on Amazon.
For ungating.
Yeah, so much bullshit myths, So eventually, all I needed was an invoice and a certificate of analysis. So I messaged the manufacturer. I said, hey, can you send me an invoice and certificate of analysis for this product? They sent it to me.
But you were developing a supplement at your place, right? You were making batches at your place. Then how you got this certificate?
So what I did was I messaged a manufacturer. And I said, can you send me a certificate of analysis and an invoice? Yeah. And they just sent it, because they want the sale. So they said, here you go. And so I took it, gave it to Amazon. It worked. So, I was good to go. Yeah. But then I messaged one of the people that I was getting the bulk ingredients from. I said, listen, if I make it at home, it's going to be like, it's going to be difficult. Like I can't keep mixing it. I don't want to pay my roommate. Because I was going to pay my roommate to do it because I was at work all day. You see how it was. Or I was going to have to spend all of Saturday making products. So I said, I'll pay my roommate. He doesn't work that much. But then I messaged one of the raw material suppliers and they said, yeah, we'll do a custom mix. And the price was very good. So I said, done. Okay, good. And I ordered 100 units for my first time. So I got the 100 units. Sent it to Amazon, and then I was like, okay, how do I even make this stuff sell? So I started PPC, auto, and like broad phrase, exact everything, very high bids. And I said, oh, let's see what this happens. Then I look at my phone and it says $100 spent in like the last 6 hours. I said, oh my God, what is this number, $100? And then I went online. I said, what does it mean, campaign manager, $100? Literally, like that's how I learned. And eventually, I found like Samar Brax's group, the Brax FBA group. And then I went in there and I said, I kept asking so many questions. I was probably the most annoying guy in the group. Now I'm the guy who adds the most value in the group. When I first started, I was like, what is this? What is that? How do you do this? How do you do that? Like anything that I couldn't find on Google, I asked in the groups. And there wasn't enough people who like had experience on Amazon. Maybe some were successful, maybe not successful, but they had enough experience so they can give me an answer. And, eventually I just learned the way of that. So finally, after like so much trial and error with PPC, I went to this event in March. So my friend, she actually works for a company who managing a $12 million Amazon account. Not just one, like there's many. She probably overall they manage like over 200 million, but her account alone was 12 million. And so she told me, hey, in March, there's a very good conference you should go to. You're going to learn a lot. And this wasn't like the regular conference, that you see we post in the groups. This was a very professional one. It's for the biggest retailers in the country. Like think Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, like those people are going there. And so I went there and I was just talking to everyone, like questions. I spent like 18 hours asking every single person in the agency, every single question you can think of. So I went home and I'm like, okay, I have like 12 pages of notes. Let's apply them. And I would implement. Finally, after like, wasting so much time, and I had a full-time job at that time. So all of the money that was coming into Amazon was staying there. I never took any money out. I probably put more and more money in. I maybe overall like, 10, 15,000 throughout the time. But, initially I only put 500. 500 became 1,000, 1,000 became 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 8. And then I would put money here and there. And then after like that conference and after applying all of the stuff in May actually in April, in April 31st, I got fired from my job. And at that point,
in 2019, right? In 2019.
2019, yeah. So I started in November. I started, the idea came to me September 2018. April 2019 or November 2018, I was on Amazon. April 2019, I was fired. And so that day, actually, I went home and I'm like, holy shit, I just got fired. I don't have any source of income, but my Amazon was bringing me like $4,000 a month in profit. But obviously I couldn't take it. My bills were like $3,000, $3,500 a month. So I said, there's no way if I take that money, then the business is not going to grow. But at the same time, also on that day, I had an Amazon conference, like an Amazon event. So what Amazon did, they flew out people from Seattle, from the headquarters, and they partnered, I think, with Casper Mattress in New York City to do this event. And so I showed up there and there was a PPC expert. So I said, oh, perfect. This is my chance. I go up to the PPC expert from Amazon and I say, hey, listen, like, I've been doing a lot of stuff with PPC. I'm going to tell you my strategy. Let me know if I'm doing anything like, or what more can I do? Like, tell me, like, I want to get better. And I said, and she looked at me like this. She's like, wow, like you probably know more than me. And at that point I was like, okay, I guess I'm on my own now, because even people from Amazon, they can't help me. So if they can help me, like that's it, I'm on my own. And then I went home and I kind of like had that conference. I was like, okay, I just have to figure this out. Like there's no one there who to help me. Like that's it. When you reach the final level and you're like, okay, like this is it. Like, there's no one who's going to help me. Obviously there is, like, there's people now in the community who are managing, millions and hundreds of millions in PPC spend. But, for me, I was like, okay, I don't know any of these people, but if I get to the Amazon rep and that's, they said, all that, like, let me just figure it out. So I actually packed everything, packed all my stuff, put it in one car, left my car at church, and then flew back to Egypt. And then I spent from June all the way to November, beginning of November, end of October, I spent it in Egypt. My bills were only $500 a month. You know how it is in Pakistan. Like, bills
yeah.
Egypt is the same. So my bills were very cheap. I was living with my family. Like I get to see my family every day. I'm working from home, and I was able to keep reinvesting, growing the business, buying more and more and more stock, spending more money on PPC to get it right. And eventually, I moved back in November 1st, 2019. I was back. I moved to California, so I took my car, shipped it out to California, flew out to California, and at that point I was making $10,000 a month in profits, and I said, okay, I can take like $3,000 or $4,000, no problem. And at that point, also PPC University was out. It was bringing me, a couple $1,000s a month in profits. So that combined gave me, a little bit of confidence. Okay, like you can do this. Like you can be a full-time entrepreneur. And from there, like that's history.
Oh my God. It was an amazing story how you started with Amazon, how you started to supplement. You have been part of this industry for quite a long time. And then at the time you realize that it's like, and it's a fluke, right? Like you just suddenly said, okay, you will find my product on Amazon. And then you just started selling on Amazon.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't do any research, nothing. Like this is my product, I'm selling it. That's it.
yeah. So the learning which you have done throughout your journey is everything on your own, right?
Yeah.
You search for things, you didn't run after anyone, and you just do things from yourself. Is this correct?
Yeah.
So which
Everything
thing
that I
helped you
did,
a lot?
everything that I did, I learned it through research, trial and error. And when I asked people questions, I asked very, very, very specific questions. So I would come to you and say, what should like my, what dimensions should my main image be? And you tell me, okay, best practice is 2000 by 2000. I ask 4 or 5 people the same question and get what the answer is and kind of like go off of that. So I was asking very specific questions. I see a lot of people in the groups, they're asking broad questions, or people come to me and they ask me broad questions like, how can I get my product ranked? And I'm like, what do you mean, how can I get my product ranked? Like, I can't even figure out how to get ranked on the top keywords. Like, so like it's not a question. Ask me something specific and I'll give you a very specific answer. So I was successful because when I talked to people, especially higher level people, I respected their time. So I went in there asking, I said, hey, please, I would like a few minutes of your time. Okay, cool. Boom, here's a question. Boom, here's a question. Boom, here's a question. They would answer. That's it. I got what I needed. And I used that person a little bit, because you can't use that person too much. If you use a person too much, they're just going to get sick of you and they're going to say, okay, stop messaging me, So I used that person a little bit. Then I would go to the next person. And after a lot of time, I realized there's no silver bullet there. So I stopped looking for the thing that's going to make, my business go from 0 to 100,000. And I was looking now for the thing that's go from 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 13, 13 to 14, because there is nothing that's going to take your business from 0 to 100. You're going to take it. So if you're a really good person, you can take your business from 0 to 100. But outside of you, there's no one that's going to be able to help you. The only thing is you can get small things and you're going to add one brick and then one brick and then one brick and then one brick. And eventually you look back and you're like, wow, I built this huge business.
Yeah. So one thing which I want to ask, like the time you started on Amazon back in 2018, November, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing you tried is Amazon PPC. Why didn't you try any other strategy as well? Like why?
Didn't know any other strategy.
Why Amazon? So you only know one thing, that's Amazon PPC, right?
Is there any other strategies on Amazon? If you don't have any of the groups or any of the communities, you go into Seller Central, you can add products and you can do PPC. There's nothing else, right? You can do your listing, you can add products and you can do PPC. So technically inside the Amazon platform, that's the only thing there. Search, find, buy, all of this stuff. This is all like, kind of
great,
like stuff like that outside of Amazon. It's not, you wouldn't call an Amazon rep and say, hey, what keyword should I use for search, find, buy? You're not, but you can call them and say, hey, what keyword should I use for PPC? And they'll tell, use a keyword relevant to you or something like that,
That's good. So, Mina, how many supplements brand you are running right now? Your own brands, right? The one you
my own brands 4. And then So basically I help a few people, but I don't like run it as an agency. I help a few people who are very like strategic to me, and so that's probably another 5, so total 9.
So you are an Amazon seller yourself. You are selling right now. You are selling 7 figures, right?
Yeah, over
Or
7
does
figures.
it turn to 8 figures?
No, I'm still very far from 8 figures. I
But
wish. Soon,
yeah, for
soon.
sure, for sure,
I'm
for
I'm
sure.
learning. And honestly, the here's the thing, guys. Okay, I sell 7 figures, but I also take like a big salary. Okay, so I'm living off of my supplements. Other people, like who have done it and gotten to like 7 figures and 8 figures faster, and I wish that I could have done this. Or I'm still like learning. You know, I'm human. I'm not like perfect, but the way that I see it is, if you have something that can bring you cash for you to live, and you invest in your business, you can grow it, grow it, grow it, grow it, grow it, grow it. I have like one business that I don't take any money from. Yeah. And I was able to grow it from 0 to $50,000 a month, I think in like 6 or 7 months. Okay. With MMA nutrition, it was so much harder because I kept taking money out of the business. I mean, I remember like I grew it to 30,000, and then I was like, okay, now I got fired from my job. I need to kind of live off of it. I think at 20,000, I was living off of it. I was taking like maybe 500 to 1,000 a month. And then once I hit like 30,000, I was taking 4,000 a month. So that was like half of the profits that was making. So I didn't grow as fast. And sometimes I have these down days. Now I'm shifting everything, and I'm taking my salary from different things. And so I'm trying to shift the balance where now my salary is coming from all of these different areas and not my brands. And my brands, I'm looking at them now as assets. So basically the goal is to invest in this brand, make it a strong brand, build brand awareness, build a loyal following around it, grow the top line gross profit, not the revenue. Revenue doesn't matter. It's your revenue minus your Amazon fees, minus your cost of goods sold, minus your PPC. That number, I'm trying to grow it as much as possible. More SKUs, more this, more that. And once I get to that point, I can sell it for, let's say, $3 million. And okay, maybe I didn't take a salary, maybe I didn't take 100,000 a month, 100,000 a year from it. But when I sell it for 3 million. So that's kind of, and obviously 3 million is a small number. Like my goal is for my next exit to be 10 million. And then hopefully, the one after that, a lot more.
So like, do you manage your all 4 brands by yourself, or you have a team of people who do the rest of the things?
No. So the first 2 brands, I manage them completely by myself. The third brand, I manage everything Amazon related by myself. And I manage everything in the third brand except off Amazon marketing. So Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, all of that stuff. I have a partner who does that, and I partnered with him so we can try that out and see how it works. And then the fourth brand, which is this one, it's the case study on Amazon. Basically, I manage everything except for all of our social media. I brought in a girl, and she's like very good on social media. I don't know yet how amazing she is, but I'm testing to see, okay, how is it like partnering with an influencer who creates content? My next business, probably I'm gonna partner with an influencer, full-on influencer, someone who's already successful at making money through being an influencer. And then I'll say, okay, listen, like, this is how much money we're gonna launch a supplement brand. I'll do everything. I just want you to keep creating content, on your personal, on TikTok, tick here, everywhere, and then see how that goes. So that's kind of the business structures.
Yeah, perfect. So what I like in the PPC University, which you have formed, like to help all the Amazon sellers, those who are having hard time in PPC, how the idea came in your mind, like to start with this PPC University?
So okay, it was pretty simple. Basically, I was in the groups, and I would, like, whenever someone had PPC questions, I would answer, and because I knew how to do PPC pretty well. Then I said, you know what, man, people are struggling with PPC, so I'm gonna help everyone. And I started releasing one video a day. auto campaign, broad, phrase, exact, product research, bulk sheets, sessions, unit session percentage, this. 23 videos, maybe one a day. And every day was a specific topic about Amazon PPC. And people went crazy. They literally went crazy. And my DM, my like inbox blew up. It was every day, Mina, I need help. I need this, I need that. And then they're like, please, do you do any consultations? I said, okay, let's do some consultations. Then I was hopping on consultation here, then consultation. And then, you know what? When you go from not having any calls during the day to having 1 or 2 calls, it really messes you up. So either you have like 2 calls at the beginning and then you work the whole day, or you have 2 calls at the end, but it's never going to work like that when you're dealing with like different like clients, you know? And so basically I felt like my attention was all over the place, because I would work on, and I'm like, oh, I have a call now, and then I would get on the call, get off the call, and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired after talking for an hour, and then I would work a little bit and then get on a call, and it wasn't good for me. And so I said, you know what I'm gonna do, so I can start telling people, you know, I don't want to tell people, no, I can't help you. I said, I'm gonna create this course. So I sat down and I said, anyways, in the future, I'm going to have a PPC employee. This is going to be very good for when I'm training that employee. So I said, boom, 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 boom. Every single piece of Amazon PPC, I broke it down. I said, this is what it means. This is what it does. This is how you do it. And it's not that there's any right way to do it. I just tell you, like I tell you, Atif, here's how to drive a car. Okay. You turn the wheel, you shift it into the gear, go 1, 2, the blinker left, you look here, you look there, you do this. This is how to run the car. Now you go and run it. If you turn to the left and you feel like you're going to crash, turn to the right. And I teach you how to do that. And it's the same with PPC. I say, okay, you know, if you launch a campaign and you notice that your impressions are low, okay, increase the bid. If you notice impressions are too high, you know, or ACOS is too high, lower the bid this much. And then, okay, what if it's abroad? Then you go into the search term report, see if there's something that's messing it up. So I explain everything in there, and I said, okay, here we go, PPC University. And I announced to people, I said, guys, I know so many people ask me for help. I don't have time anymore. I got to spend it on my brands, growing my brands. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be an agency. I don't want to be like, maybe I'll offer a service to people that will help them if it works, if it doesn't interfere with my work, you know, same way PPC University. But my end goal is to grow brands, grow supplement brands. That's what I love. That's what I'm passionate about. And I don't want to do something I don't love. I don't want to do something I'm not passionate about. So yeah, maybe if I start, you know, something here or something there, oh, it's going to get me quick money, but I don't want quick money. I want every single day that I work, I'm building an asset. I'm building something that I love. I'm doing, you know, a job that I love, that I like waking up to. And so, you know, that's the whole reason I did the PPC. And I said, PPC University, and I said, you know, here you go. This is the PPC University. If you need to learn PPC, go ahead. But I stopped taking that many calls. Like now, I think maybe I only take calls like 1 or 2 times. Today is Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday are my like call days. That's it.
Yeah. So this PPC University came, like the idea for PPC University came from all this calls and consultation calls that you are getting, and you start feeling annoyed.
I wanted to help more people, but I didn't want it to take time from me. I'm happy to help people. Like I want to help everyone, because I struggled very hard when I started. No one else needs to struggle that much. And I'm not afraid of competition, because, you know, I'm like, I still know all of the stuff that you know, except I have an edge when it comes to supplements. This is like my passion, and I'm very knowledgeable, and I can get better and better and better. Like I'm ready to compete with the best of the best in supplements. So, you know, why would I be worried? Like, you know, I want to help everyone. I have no idea. I have no issues. I mean,
okay. So most of the people who develop their own courses and running their own brands, they always run for an agency. They just want to start with an agency. But I really like your idea. Like you are not into this business for a reason, that you love to grow brands. You want to create more and more brands. And this is why you are not providing any agency services and all. So if anyone wants to get in consultation, do you provide any consultation or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it, but I'm pretty expensive. So if you want, but if you message me and you tell me, If you message me, tell me exactly what you need help with, I'll send you to someone else probably who can help you.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I think let's hop into some PPC questions, right? People are
Yeah,
willing to
let's do it.
know, like they just want to crack like how Mina do all this amazing PPC thing for his brands, and like
I'm happy to share.
especially when it's supplement, like, and people are already loving it. Like one of
Yeah.
our subscriber, he said it's so great to see Mina here and waiting for tips. He has about to reveal working
There's
while
a video
traveling.
coming
So
soon.
yeah,
A video coming soon on YouTube. I'll show you exactly. So I took a weekend in Palm Springs, 2 days, or Friday to Sunday actually, and I'll show you exactly like how I pack, how I set up, how I like scope out the area, everything, and I make sure
yeah.
I get as much, or not as much, but probably like at least 75% of my regular work capacity, except it's traveling. So I mean, 75% when you're traveling is pretty good.
That's amazing. Okay, so I think let's hop onto a question, right? First one from my side, it's what usually people face here, like most of the people here in our circle, they don't sell supplements because it's super competitive, and the second reason is do need a whole lot of capital just to start with it. So usually, what people do, they sell a product for $10 to $5 or $15. So when you have a product with low price, which is $5 to $10, how you manage ACOS? Because like a product is low, your profit margins are thin, and if your ACOS is too high, how you will manage it normally?
Okay, so there's I have general guidelines for managing ACOS when you launch and then when you optimize. So with the only thing that's going to change between supplements and between something that's that low of a price is with supplements, I'm okay starting out higher and then lowering my bid to optimize the ACOS. With this, you're going to have to do the opposite. You're going to have to start campaigns at a lower bid and then work your way up. So in launch, this is my strategy. When I launch, when I launch on day one, my target. So let's say my profit margin is 50%. So my revenue is $20. Amazon fees $5. Cost of goods is $5. I'm left with $10. 10 divided by 20, that's 50% margin. So that's how you calculate. So if I have 50% margin, when I start the first 2 months, I want 100% ACOS. So double my profit margin. I'm losing money. That's cool. I'm losing all of my profits. I'm losing everything, but it's fine because I'm investing in the ranking. Then from month 2 to month 6, I drop it down to 75%. Okay. And then month 7 to month 11, I drop it down to 50%. Month 12 to month 18, I'm at like 40%. And then 18 plus, I'm at 35%. Okay. Those are my targets. So that's every time I go into optimize, I download the bulk sheets, highlight everything, click sort and filter, column B, where it says record type, I click and I say, I only want to show products, product targeting and keywords. Then it shows me all of my ASINs and keywords that I'm targeting. I go into the ACOS column, I sort ACOS largest to smallest, and based on the targets that we just talked about, whatever, let's say my target is 75, anything above 75, I'm lowering the bid by 5 cents. The reason that I don't do a percentage or anything is because I want to do it slow. Now, here's the deal. If something is bleeding you, you go a little bit more aggressive. So you don't have to do 5 cents. 5 cents is just, because you're here and you want to slowly get there. But if you notice that one keyword is clearly messing you up, then you could just, keep lowering and lowering. Okay. So that's what you can do. Now, you're going to go into the search term report because you're going to have auto, broad, phrase, generating all these keywords. You're going to pull all of these keywords out, and now you want to target them, especially the profitable ones. So when you have such a low margin for error, like with a $5 or $10 profit, you're going to, first of all, sort everything by ACOS. So if something is profitable, highlight it, okay? Now take that highlighted section and put it alone and sort it by impressions. And then every 5 or 10 keywords that have close to an impression range, pull that out and put it in its own campaign. Whatever you look at the cost per click that product is doing at that ACOS, go maybe like 2 cents lower than the cost per click, just because you need to always be very careful with a lower product. So for me, I have no problem if I start at $1.50, even though I should do at $1.20, because even if my ACOS is 75% for a few days and I lower it down, it's okay. No big deal. It's gonna happen. Things like that happen, and it's okay. So that's basically like my whole reasoning behind that. Is with me, I have more money. With you, who have a $5 or $10 product, you don't have any money. So start a little bit lower and then work your way up. So now you took the profitable keywords. Now you're going to take all of the non-profitable keywords, or all the keywords that have like more than 3 clicks and no sales from the search term report. And again, sort by impression, highest to lowest, and then break them up into 5 or 10 keywords, batch of 5 or a batch of 10, and put them in campaigns. And again, always do a big budget. Never do a small budget. Always do a big budget, because then Amazon's going to know, okay, this guy has enough money to spend. We can show him in a lot of different placements, but then start with a smaller bid. It's okay if you see that you don't have enough impressions, you can work your way up. But again, when you have $5 or $10, all it takes is 5 or 10 keywords to bleed you, and then you lost all your profit for the day.
Yeah. So thank you so much for the explanation. We have another question from Ali Mahfouz, and he asks, please recommend how to manage the ads and avoid the listing from going down in case of selling products in restricted category.
I've never dealt with a restricted category, so I don't know. I mean, I know that, like, for example, fat burner is a restricted category, a restricted word, so don't use it. But I've never dealt with restricted categories. So if he's talking about like adult products or something like that, I'm not sure. I've never dealt with that.
Okay, no worries. So we have from Sarah, and she asks, do you calculate PPC monthly budget before launch, or is it by estimation or experience?
Okay, so like I said, you can't estimate a dollar amount budget, right? It's impossible. But what I do is I estimate what my total ACOS is going to be. So I can tell you that my total ACOS for the first, let's say 2 months, is going to be maybe 75%, which is basically I'm going to lose all of my profits and I'm going to put more money in, for the first couple months. And then I can tell you after that, the total ACOS is going to drop down to break even. So in the second 2 months, I'm not making any profit. And then I can tell you after that, maybe drop it down to 40%, 30%, every month, up until I get down to like 20% total ACOS. But the reason that I do that is because it's very important in the first 8 to 12 weeks, for Amazon to see that I have a high velocity, even if it means me losing money. Because once Amazon sees I just did a launch, and right now we're doing 85, 90 units a day with the product. The first few days we were spending $400 a day at PPC. So like the whole thing, maybe we lost $2,000 or $3,000, like on top of our investment, we lost $2,000 or $3,000. But now we're getting to break even at 85, 90 units. So even if we optimize, we just launched middle of February. So from middle of February, beginning, or maybe first week of February. So within 3 weeks, almost within a month, you have a product that is making, let's say 70 units profitably. That's like $20,000 a month in profit, something like that, from one product.
So okay. So one thing. So what I have noticed, like before launching a product, like for first 2 months, your ACOS would be 75%, and with time it will gradually go down, and like after 12 weeks or 8 weeks, your ACOS will be on a break even, and then you will get it down to a time that you have been making money on PPC as well. Instead of doing everything on PPC, you will be making a profit on PPC order as well. So how you plan this, like within the first 2 months, it will be definitely 75% ACOS, and then how you gradually get it down to a level that it's came on break even, and then drop it down to a time you start making profit.
So the most important thing is to always look at your total ACOS, which is the PPC spend divided by the total sales, not your campaign manager ACOS. Campaign manager ACOS can be wrong a lot of the time, but your total ACOS is not going to be wrong, because it's how much you spent on PPC and how much Amazon charged you divided by your total sales. So with that, to optimize that, it's very simple. Like I said, download the bulk sheets, highlight everything, click sort and filter. Column B, which is record type, you're gonna click on it and you're gonna highlight, you're gonna only choose keywords and product targets. Now you're looking at all of the keywords and product targets, and you have a column called max bid where you can change the max bid. I've now started testing, instead of changing the max bid, change the cost per click. So I'm gonna start doing that more. It's instead of using the max bid that I have, use the cost per click. Now from there, I'm gonna highlight everything again and click sort and filter ACOS or sort ACOS from largest to smallest. So anything that has an ACOS number, I'm going to start from largest to smallest. Then you go to the stuff that has clicks and no sales. I'm going to highlight that, clicks and no sales, and I'm going to sort it from highest clicks to lowest clicks. Then I'm going to go to anything that's under 3 clicks. Highlight all of that. I'm going to sort from largest impression to lowest impression. Okay, so now that I have everything from highest ACOS to lowest ACOS, anything above my target ACOS, like we talked about at the beginning, I'm going to lower the bid by 5 cents. Anything in at my target ACOS or maybe 10-15% below, I don't touch it. Anything 15% below my target ACOS to 1%, I'm gonna increase by 3 cents to give it a little bit more visibility. Same with the clicks and no sales. Anything that's getting clicks and no sales, I'm gonna lower by 5 cents. And then I go to the impressions. Anything that has 300 impressions or less, in my eyes, is not getting enough impressions. I increase the bid by 10 cents, and that's just typical my optimization. Now, there's one more thing you guys have to be aware of. Go into a new column and do equals sales divided by total sales, okay, for the keyword. Or the exact formula on Excel is equals sales divided by subtotal, open bracket 9, comma, highlight all the sales. This is because there's, when you filter, it's gonna give you wrong numbers, so use subtotal. You'll get the percentage, and then this will tell you based on each keyword what percent of sales is that keyword driving. So for example, if you notice, electrolyte powder, the ACOS is 60%, but it's driving 35% of my sales, don't lower that one. Lower everything else, but don't lower that one because it's driving 35% of your sales. Or if you're gonna lower it, instead of 5 cents, maybe 3 cents. Just because if you lower that keyword, because I've done it in the past, I've lowered the keyword by like 25 cents, boom, my sales went to like from 50 a day to 15 a day. I said, what the hell is going on? And it's because the main keyword, that was driving most of the sales was probably on page 1 or 2. And then when I lowered it, it moved to page 3 or 4. And then I stopped getting traffic, stopped getting sales.
Oh my God. So that formula works.
So that's why I know to look for.
Okay, so another one is from Khobab, and he asked how to apply a regular approach to product ASIN when there are so many relevant ASIN and ad placement on the product page.
Okay, so with product ASINs, it's pretty simple. You want to launch every single ASIN so you can get the maximum amount of visibility, and then keep optimizing it the way that I showed you to get it to a profitable level. Then what I do with video, with display ads, with sponsored brands is I go into my search term reports and I go into my bulk sheets. I pull every single keyword that has a very profitable ACOS, in my opinion, 20-25% or lower. And then I launch that as, let's say it's an ASIN, because he asked about ASIN. I'll launch that in video, brand, display, all of the different types. And so I generally start with the very profitable ASINs. A few other things, you can look at ASIN. You can use category refinement to refine ASINs. Okay, so you can say, okay, I want all of the ASINs in this category, 3 stars or less, more expensive than me. So that's one way of going about it. Another way of going about it is specifically targeting products that you can win. So if you do a lot of research like I do, and I type in electrolyte powder, I type in all of my top 20 keywords, and I'll go to page 10 on every single one of those. It takes a long time. But the criteria is if I can find anything that is more expensive than me, and if I can find anything that's 3.5 stars or less, I'm going to take that and I'm going to target it in its own campaign. And I'm going to be very, like he said, granular and very aggressive to steal sales from that person.
Okay, thank you. So we hear from Arslan, and he says, "What should be our next strategy after optimizing PPC? Should we go for Amazon DSP or sponsored display for reaching out new audience or not? What is your opinion on Amazon DSP and sponsored display?"
Yeah. So I wouldn't go to DSP. DSP is more, you're going to get that money in brand awareness. So unless you have money to spend on brand awareness, I wouldn't go with DSP yet. I would go with video, display, headline search ads, all of that first before going to DSP. And again, like I said, you can go into your bulk sheets, you can go into search term reports, pull all of the profitable keywords out, and then start for DSP, for sponsored display, sponsored brands, video, headline search ads, all of those I targeted very, very granularly. So it's only one keyword, one broad, one phrase, one exact. So 3 separate campaigns per keyword. I get a lot of different campaigns, but it's a lot more granular approach because I'm only pulling out profitable keywords, not pulling out every single keyword.
So Johnson asks, like, what bidding strategy should I use for a new product launch?
For a new product launch, I'd probably do up down because you want to be aggressive in a new product launch. So start with up down for like a couple months and then go to down bid only.
Umar, like keyword cannibalization and impact of keyword overlap across different ad set.
So you should never have duplicates in your campaigns. So go right now, if you have duplicates, pull out all of your keywords. And again, you can do the same thing. Highlight, sort, and filter. Column B, show only keywords. And then highlight the whole column and go to data. In Excel, go to data, duplicates. Click on that. It will tell you how many duplicates are in there. If there are duplicates, go to the duplicates one by one and look at which one is performing better or which one has higher impressions or which one has a higher bid, and delete the other one. So the one that has lower impressions, lower bid or higher ACOS, delete that one.
Yeah. So like you don't need to have the duplications everywhere.
No, you shouldn't have duplicates. It's not going to do anything for you.
Okay, so as we all know, like whenever there is a new seller, we call them like, okay, go and run auto campaigns and pick keywords after running probably auto campaigns for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and get the most converting keywords and put them to a manual campaign. Is this the same thing which works till now, or like is this a wrong approach?
Okay, so this is what I started doing, and it's been working very successfully. In the first 2 weeks, I won't run the auto campaign. I'll run only my main keywords and top 10 keywords very aggressively to get the relevancy score up on Amazon. And then I'll launch the auto campaigns, which drive a lot of discoverability.
So you do complete opposite, like what most of the people used to say, like run auto campaign, filter out the best keyword, put them in a manual campaign, and then it's work. And
that's what I used
you,
to do. But I just started now, waiting a couple of weeks because I noticed an improvement in the relevance when I don't do that.
And like for finding the most relevant keywords, like do you use Helium, or like is there any other software?
Again, to start, I do a little bit of research on Helium 10. Yeah. So what I do on Helium 10 is I'll type in the main keyword on Amazon. I'll get my top 10 competitors, put them in Helium 10 Cerebro, get the keywords. Then if there are 10 competitors, I'm going to go to the advanced filters, minimum ranking competitors, put 9. So 1 less than the number of ASINs I put in, and then filter. And that will give me all of the super highly relevant keywords. I'll click sort, highest search volume to lowest search volume. And that's how I get a lot of very relevant keywords to target.
So, like Mina, when you manage multiple campaigns for all your products, and because you are when we say PPC, so we like the name came to us. It's like always a Mina Elias when it's come to supplement or other competitive niche. So when you manage all these campaigns and you set up like probably 100 of campaign for each of your product. So how you manage them, like through Amazon PPC dashboard, or like do you use any software?
Everything is in bulk sheets. I just actually developed some macros. So you can go on Fiverr and I can even send you the guide that I used to create the macros. But you can say, okay, I want you to develop a system. I'm gonna put the guidelines in here, and then I want to click a button, and I want it to sort and filter everything. For example, let's say for creating campaigns at scale, I say, okay, I want to put all of the keywords here. I want to put the name, the budget, the bids, all of this stuff, broad, phrase, exact, and then it creates all of the campaigns immediately. So it's all done in Excel, and I just used some macros for myself, but there's nothing crazy advanced.
Nothing crazy, nothing fancy, just a simple
Nothing
Excel
fancy,
sheet
just
and
simple
few macros.
foundations work.
Okay, so as you are well aware of, like with time, we all are progressing and people are moving towards and shifting towards machine learning and AI things. So as you know, you are already familiar that there are few AI PPC tool. Like, so what's the future of AI? Like PPC. Should people move towards AI, or should they do all this on
Don't
manual?
move towards AI. Don't move towards AI, because you're basically putting all of your hope in a computer. And if all of us got the same AI, who's gonna win? It doesn't make sense. So, like, first of all, you don't know. I used AI before, and who knows what the hell they're doing? You're just putting your campaign manager there. I lost sales. I spent more money. I think for the first day in my life, I spent $600. $600. Now I'm spending like more, like $1,000 a day or something in PPC. But I was doing from $200, $200 to $600. It was crazy. Yeah.
It was crazy. Okay, so we have from Zishan, and he asked, could you please elaborate the strategy to increase CTR?
So to increase CTR, you simply need a better listing. So that's better image, better title, better images, more reviews, better price. That's what's gonna improve your CTR. It has nothing to do with PPC.
Yeah. So,
By the way, I have to
yeah,
hop off in like a minute for my next call, but
yeah, for sure. Like the last thing that I want to mention here is like you have something prepared for our audience, right? So
yes.
there is a, yeah. So would you like to tell them?
Yeah, so because you guys are want to learn, and obviously Atif, you did an amazing, incredible thing for Pakistan, for the whole community to learn. So I'm giving my course away for 50% off for all of the ex-ecom people. So extreme e-commerce. So the code is EXECOM. The website is theppcuniversity.com. It's my course, my full course that Atif bought and took, and he knows how good it is. 50% off for everyone here listening, and everyone in your group. So hopefully this helps you guys out. And and once you're in the course, you can ask me as many questions as you want, and hopefully everyone becomes really successful at doing this.
Yeah. So, Mina, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for sharing your journey with all these people. And thank you for being an incredible guest as always. And I will definitely, like, people will definitely reach out to your course and everything. And I hope we will be having another live session soon
Yeah.
on like discussing more on a technical side, because today we were on your journey and a few big questions as you are getting late for your another
We
call.
can do
Right?
another session soon. We'll put it
For
in the
sure.
book, and it'll be 100% PPC.
Yeah, it will be one. Thank you so much, Meena, for being here. People really loved it. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. All right.
Thank you.
Talk
It
to you
was a
guys.
pleasure having you. Thank you. Bye.